we're here along Highway 51 just west of Stillwater, and joining us today is Dr. Dennis Martin with Turf Grass. And Dr. Martin, you've been working with ODOT for a few years, several years actually, yes, about mowing treatments. And what are we looking at right now?
We're on a roadside that is looking at the effect of mowing regimes on prevalence of milkweed and also some of the plants that help pollinators do their thing.
So you've been doing this particular experiment for about 3 years, is that correct?
That's correct. It's a cooperative project between the Oklahoma Department of Transportation and Oklahoma State University. The departments involved are horticulture and landscape architecture and also integrative biology.
And we've talked with you once before. Just give us a little bit of a recap of what the experiment is that you're doing here as far as the mowing.
Well, we're focusing on areas outside the clear safety zone. The clear safety zone, for instance, is the first 30 feet approximately from the edge of the paved shoulder out into the ditch. There's a lot of area outside of that, which there's flexibility in how it's managed for the benefit of pollinators, including the monarch butterfly. So the purpose of the research is to look at different mowing timings. The clear safety zone might be mowed 3 to 5 times a year, depending on whether it's an urban zone or a rural area. But the area outside the clear and safety zone, there's some opportunity to save taxpayer dollars and also accommodate pollinators, including the monarch butterfly.
Because we're outside the safety zone, we always want to make sure that's safe for people that might be having car trouble or whatever.
Absolutely. We want ODOT wants them to be able to see for as far as possible, to react to a stopped vehicle or a deer that wants to cross the road, those types of things. So we're not talking about programs that affect clear safety zone, but the area outside of that.
Yeah, there's a lot more land area that ODOT has to manage.
Absolutely.
So this research is kind of looking at different mowing patterns. You've got several plots and you're doing 6 treatments to the different plots?
That's correct. Originally there were 5 mowing treatments that Dr. Kristen Ball and myself were examining. Those included a non-mowed treatment, mowing around the major holidays of Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day, and then a post-season cleanup, and that was to accommodate lots of visibility and traffic on the roadside. Be able to see for long distances. But of course these are outside clear safety zones, so there's lots of flexibility, opportunity to save on mowing. So some of the other treatments included a mid-July mowing, and then a mid-July plus post-freeze, and then a after-freeze cleanup only. So there were 5 original treatments. With some of the information that we've learned and what ODOT has actually integrated in the last couple years, we've added another treatment where we'll be mowing in mid-June and then post-frost, and the idea there is it allows the monarchs to come through and also pollinators to use most of the forbs or broadleaves out there, but also before the Johnson grass clumps are allowed to flower, it cuts them down so they don't generate as much seed.
They can get aggressive a little bit on you.
Absolutely. We wish our roadsides were completely free of Johnson grass, but they're not. So.
And behind us you can see one of the treatments that you've already done. This was the first Memorial Day treatment? Yes,
that was our plan to mow that 4 times a year at the major holidays, the 3 major holidays and post-freeze cleanup. So it's been mowed, and it's the area that's been mowed and no flags in it. Dr. Baum's portion of the team has already flagged the milkweeds that are out here so that you can see at every flagged site there's actually a milkweed.
Okay, and so pretty soon you'll be doing that mid-June mowing as well, is that correct?
That's correct. That is another treatment that's been added, and then Dr. Kristen Baum's portion of the team, the surveyors will come back and she'll see whether some of those milkweeds are regenerating at different times during the year, as well as checking for the presence of monarch eggs and larvae at the different sites.
All right, well thank you for sharing the mowing treatments with us, Dr. Martin.
Happy to do so.
So Dr. Baum, you're the other aspect to this research project. Tell us a little bit about what you're finding. We've got a lot of flags out here.
We do. So we came out and we flagged all of the milkweed plants. So this plot in particular had over 600 milkweed plants.
Wow.
And you can see most of the milkweed is setting seed. And so probably early July will be when it'll be releasing seeds. But yeah, this was probably our plot with the most milkweed. So.
And you're already finding a few caterpillars on some of these milkweeds, it looks like, too.
We did, yes. So definitely monarchs using the sites.
So in addition to kind of monitoring the milkweeds, are you doing anything with nectar plants that you might be seeing out here?
We are trying to start looking at nectar plants. That's one of our longer term goals. And you can see we've got some echinacea at this site, as well as scurfy pea, which is one of my favorites for native bees. And we have some daisy fleabane. And so longer term, we're interested in trying to evaluate how those mowing regimes influence nectar sources as well. And some of the plants would regrow following mowing, some would not, so it kind of varies, and depending on when they bloom and set seed, you can see very different responses.
And does milkweed also, is it affected by the mowing? Have you noticed
So
that?
milkweed will regrow and it will actually bloom another time following, depending on the timing of the mowing.
So Dr. Baum, we had one of the coldest Aprils followed by one of the hottest Mays. Has that affected the monarchs and also the milkweed?
Well, the monarchs were slow to reach Oklahoma this year, and the milkweed was slow to emerge. We've been tracking phenology and emergence patterns on some milkweeds as well.
Well, Dr. Baum, it's great to know that you and Dennis Martin are both still monitoring the monarchs and keeping a good eye on the population for us.
Thank you, and if you want an update in the future, just let us know.
We'll do that.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.